When you're two tech experts who've solved thousands of tech problems and you spend 4 hours driving blind through Spain because you forgot to activate international roaming, you start to realize preparation only gets you so far. I'm Carlos, and this is the story about our 3,000 kilometers road trip from Portugal to Norway, where every country taught us something unexpected. Last episode, I showed you how we fit our entire life into our Passat van. Today, I'm taking you on the actual journey. 5 countries, 5 days, and one historic snowstorm that gave us what we still call today the Norwegian welcome. This isn't just a travel vlog. This is what happens when your new life starts even before you reach your destination. So my wife worked as an after-sales manager in a tech store, handling tech support for thousands of customers. I've worked with Microsoft, Jesus and Xiaomi, so between us we've solved every tech problem imaginable, which is why what happened 1 hour after crossing into Spain was so embarrassing. No GPS, no internet, 2 tech experts driving like it's 1995. But we don't have 1995 skills. We tried everything, restart the phones, check the settings. We even wondered if the Portuguese cell towers just broke after we left. So there we are, following along with some Spanish road signs without any idea where they actually led. That one says Madrid. Is Madrid good? Do we actually need Madrid?
Madrid is not on the way to Norway.
Well, how do you know? We don't have GPS.
Because I know basic geography.
Okay, this is weird, but we'll figure it out. Okay, this is actually a problem. We're legitimately lost in Spain with a dog.
Don't blame the dog. The dog didn't forget international roaming.
The dog also doesn't have thumbs to activate international roaming. Meanwhile, Mike is still blissfully playing in his cage, completely unaware his parents are having a meltdown in the front seat. 4 hours in, we finally stop for gas. My wife decides to call our phone carrier and starts to explain our problem.
Did you activate international roaming?
We forgot to activate international roaming. We are the dumbest smart people. Suddenly, we have GPS, we have internet, and the sudden realization that we've been driving in circles for 4 hours. But here's the beautiful part. The hotel we found, it was in a city that hosts a huge annual dog expo. We accidentally stumbled into the most dog-friendly place in Spain. Sometimes being an idiot works out. The drive from León to Bordeaux was actually beautiful. Mountains, up and down, scenic roads. We're thinking maybe Paris is going to be romantic after all. Then we hit French cities and I don't know, maybe we were expecting too much from all those romantic movies and Instagram posts. Graffitis everywhere, trash on the street. Not the French postcard we'd imagine. But the real test was Paris. We lost 2 hours just to cross through the city center. 2 hours, with GPS working perfectly. French drivers are intense. People cutting you off, honking all the time, trying to squeeze into places that don't exist. We survived 4 hours in Spain without GPS. And Paris, with GPS, was somehow more stressful. Mike went from happy pillow humping to hiding in the corner of his cage. Even he knew this wasn't normal. By the time we crossed into Germany, we were ready for something, anything different. Germany felt like driving paradise in comparison to French chaos. People actually using turn signals, car moving over to let you pass, basic courtesy that apparently doesn't exist everywhere. And then there's the Autobahn. No speed limits in some sections, and it's not chaos, it's organized freedom. You wanna go 80? Fine. You wanna go 180? Fine as well. Just stay in your lane and respect the fastest traffic. Supercars flying past us like we are standing still, How these BMWs, Porsches, they are treating the Autobahn like their personal racetrack, but somehow it works.
Remember that Porsche?
Oh, that Porsche must have been doing 200 kilometers per hour.
And you tried to keep up with it.
I didn't try to keep up with a Porsche.
You absolutely tried to keep up with a Porsche in our overload Passat.
I was maintaining a reasonable speed.
It was like therapy after Paris.
Exactly. Driving therapy. We could finally relax and just drive. Even Mike calmed down. No more corner hiding and back to pillow arrangements. Denmark surprised us completely. We stayed at this incredibly cozy and rustic hotel. The kind of place that feels like a hug. Warm, welcoming, genuine hospitality. But it wasn't just the hotel. Danish people were just nice. Not fake nice, not service nice, genuinely nice. After the stress of French traffic, the engineering of the German highway, Denmark felt like a warm conversation with a friend. This is where it hit us. We're finally on the ferry to Norway. We're actually doing this after months of planning. The ferry from Denmark to Norway was supposed to be just transportation. Instead, it became this transitional moment. We are really doing this. Not nervous, not scared, actually excited. For the first time since we left Portugal, everything felt right. We walked around the deck, watched the coastline disappear, and for the first time in months, we just relaxed. Mike was settled, the car survived 2,500 kilometers of abuse, and Norway was getting close. We stayed our first night in Larvik and woke up to this stunning sunrise over the Norwegian landscape. Perfect weather, clear skies, feeling like we made the right choice. 2 hours into the drive to Trondheim, our new home city, we were laughing, singing along to music, pointing out beautiful landscapes.
You killing that song.
I was killing that song.
You were murdering that song. Even Mike looked concerned.
Mike loves when I'm singing.
Mike tolerates your singing voice.
And then the weather changed. Not gradually, suddenly. What started as light snow became something else entirely. According to the news that we saw after, this was the biggest snowstorm since 1918. And we didn't knew that at that time. We just knew that we were driving under conditions that we never experienced. Here's what nobody tells you about driving under heavy snow. It's hypnotic. The flakes feel so smooth and so steady that you lose track of your own speed. Everything feels slow and peaceful, even if you're driving faster than you should. I thought we were being careful, driving at a reasonable speed under these conditions, right? We're amateurs at this, so safety first. After 2 hours under this historic snowstorm, I checked my mirrors and realized there's a huge line of cars behind us. A long line, all keeping their distance. No one trying to pass. And then it happened. What we still call today the Norwegian welcome. The first car finally passes, and as it goes, the driver honks and flips us. Then the second one, and the third one. A whole convoy of Norwegian drivers giving us the middle finger as they pass. And then I just started laughing. Not because I was angry or offended, but because I understood what was happening. We weren't driving dangerously slow. We were driving like a couple of terrified tourists in a country where they've been doing this since their childhood. For them, this historic snowstorm was nothing more than a Tuesday morning. These people are professionals. They've been driving in snow for decades. What felt like survival conditions to us, it's a normal commute to them. That's when I realized we weren't just moving to Norway, we were joining a community that has completely different expertise than us. We were the beginners now. And that finger-flipping convoy from before, that was Norway's way to say, welcome to the big lakes. Learn fast. So that's how you drive 3,000 kilometers from your old life to your new one. Forget basic tech, survive French traffic, discover German driving paradise, fell in love with Danish kindness, and get flipped off by an entire country that is trying to teach you how to survive winter. Here's what we've learned with this journey. We weren't special, we weren't rich, we weren't experts moving countries, we didn't have any master plan. We were just two regular people that decided to try something that scared us. And yes, we made mistakes, forgetting roaming, getting lost, driving too slow on a snowstorm. But that's the point. You don't need to be perfect to start. You just have to start. Next week, our first steps into our new life, including the paperwork that you need to take care of first, how to find a house that is not an Airbnb, our first days at our new jobs, and of course, our first impressions of our new life. Does it live to the expectations? If you want to see how this story continues, spoiler alert, we survived the Norwegian winter, but just barely. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you all for following along with our Norwegian adventure, and see you next time. Já lá futuro eu, para te lembrares depois de como ficou a casa.